Good morning. We're sitting here ready to go for the day, waiting to get our load. So I thought I'd address something really quickly. Is it possible to make 100,000 oil field? Yes, and you could do it in different areas for sure. Going on what's going on YouTube right now, going around mostly do with trucking. There's more than trucking in the oil fields. There's frac crews, there's drilling crews, there's all kinds of stuff. You don't have to be pigeonholed into just trucking. It seems, well, it's what I do. I've done other things, and I made more money working on around the rigs than I did driving truck, that's for sure. But it is possible to make $100,000 working the oil field. It's possible to do it in sand. Have I done it? No. Last year was a horrible year for me, and last year was my first year in sand. I started in January, and October, I think 29th, my dad went in for heart surgery, and it was a disaster. He ended up in ICU for 5 weeks, and I was there by the bed every day until he passed. It was awful. And then always around Christmas time, there's not much work, so there was no work for me since I was off. So I lost 2 months there, and it was like in the middle of summer, sand went down too. So last year was an off year. This year, not so much. This year we're cranking, which is great. And despite what some individuals said, that he looked online and saw that the frac sand rates were down because he has no idea what he's talking about. Yes, there is a surplus of frac sand, but that has nothing to do with us hauling it to the pads. We're not connected. I mean, you are, but you aren't. You are, in fact, that if there's no sand, you're not hauling it, but you're not, because there's a surplus. That's good for us. That has nothing to do with the price to get it from the sand yards to location. And more has to do with the availability of trucks than the availability of sand. I mean, sure, they're connected, but I have not seen rates drop. He claims that rates have dropped. Maybe they did for his company, but judging from his video, I kind of figured out who he's hauling for as far as what company they're hauling sand for, and that's not. My boss won't allow me to haul sand for that particular company, which, I mean, big company, I mean, whatever. There's big fracking companies, and I don't know. He claimed that Schlumberger, I call it Schlumberger just because it pisses him off. I don't like him. He claims that Schlumberger is the biggest. They are not. There is no one bigger than Halliburton. Halliburton has the biggest private fleet in the world, last I heard. Halliburton is ginormous. They pretty much chased all the fracking companies around here, pretty much chased them the hell out of here because their rates were horrible. We won't haul for them anyway because the rates are just god awful. That's the cheap side of the sand. I know folks that work for them and they hated it, but whatever. I mean, I'm not saying don't go there because I don't know I don't know for myself. Back to the subject of this video is, can you make 100,000 a year? Sure, if everything hits perfect and you don't go home. You have to stay in your truck the whole year. A great week for a driver out here is about 2,000, 2,500. That's if you're getting a high percentage of the gross, which out here in the Northeast, guys are getting anywhere from 25 to 30%. And you have to hit. I'm not really sure what my average is. I think I get paid every 2 weeks, so it ended up being about $2,000 average for 2 weeks. $2,000 a week. But then who knows what this week is gonna be, because I've had 6 load weeks, which was nothing, and I've had 0 load weeks. It just all depends how the wells hit. And I was fortunate enough this time that I went from one well to another. That's not always the case. Sometimes there's no well to go to. You have to wait for your fracking crew to move. And that can take anywhere from 3 days to a week, or plus a week. It depends if they have problems, weather or whatever, and how far they're moving and all that stuff. If they got the permits to drive down the roads or whatever. So you have to be in that truck the whole year. If you own your own truck, well, yeah, you're gonna make 100,000, of course. The truck's gonna make 100,000, sure. This truck, it better make 300,000. Just saying. I'm not sure what we did last year. I didn't come close to make 100,000 last year, but it was just a bad year. But again, I worked in I did a casing inspection. I made 90 grand one year. I was working on it, but that's a lot of work. We were averaging what, 100 to 120 hours a week. It was terrible. But I don't like putting numbers out there, and I probably shouldn't have, because it's different for everybody. Just because I make a certain amount doesn't mean you're gonna make a certain amount. You might make more than me. I don't know. You might make less. Who knows? I make what I negotiate with my boss. Period. Like, I don't own the truck. I work for an owner-operator that owns 2 trucks. He runs one, I run the other. He's hauling crude oil, and I'm hauling sand. I beat him every week hauling crude oil. So you need to, don't take my word for anything. Don't take any other YouTuber's word for anything. You need to find out for yourself, because we all could be full of crap. I mean, I know what I'm saying is true, but you don't know what I'm saying is true. You need to find out for yourself. Research, call, whatever. And be careful who you go work for, because there are some shady folks out there. Shady. You have to be very careful. Wow. The guy just drove by. Don't be that guy. I can't show him, but he's got junk all over his trailer. Don't be that guy. But anyway, find out for yourself. Yes, it's possible to make 100,000. Whatever. Well, you know, after 4 weeks, no. And it's not a dance floor.